Well, how about that? First fish of the session, and I just literally put my rod out and unorganised, and it's ripped off. Probably about 4 or 5 pound maybe, if you're lucky. But on Pacific tuna, left hand on margin, which I'll show you a bit in a minute. How about that? First fish of the session so far. Just here for the day. Hopefully more of these will come. So I'll just get a few still shots, we'll get back into action. Not too bad going, was the first fish. Just literally chucked the old rod out there, left hand margin. Look, start again, shall we? Hello, good morning. It's just turned up to 9:30 on August Bank Holiday Monday. I had plans to go to the Syndicate Lake, but I had a car MOT service on the car Saturday morning, then it chucked down the rain most of the afternoon, in fact all afternoon. So that kind of hindered that plan. I was going to come down to the club water yesterday. Time I got myself organised and set myself up and that, and just that, you know, the day was just literally had flown by, so I didn't bother me. So I thought I'll come here today. This is the first time since, well, second time for me since lockdown, but the first time on to film. Like I said, I'm at the club water, and literally just put the left hand rod out, right in the margin where I normally go, and yeah, just walked down there, put a handful of pellet in, and that just went straight away with no other bait around, so a single bait obviously worked. Whether that be the first one of many, who knows. But I'm going to have a cup of coffee, put my stove, so I had a fresh cup of coffee, so I put my stove and whatnot, not on a flask today, and yeah, we'll sort of see what happens now. It caught me a little bit unsuspected, but that's how it goes sometimes. It just proves that you put the right bait one in front of the nose and away you go. And I actually caught on the Pacific tuna, the 15mm pop-up we had. It's been glugged the highest of heavens, and yeah, done the trick, so I'm happy with that. I haven't blanked, which is good, so let's get a few more and we'll go from that. Cup of coffee time. Right, gutted. Just lost one. I had a bit of a catastrophe down my end. That's probably why, yeah, done a runner. Right, so I'm going to have a change of plan. That was the rig I was using. Straightforward, basic bottom bait rig, and I just noticed I had a barbless hook on it, so I will change that to a different rig and just stick to a pop-up. Just literally just in front of me. Never mind. I don't usually lose fish, but I think it'd be more around, I think. So anyway, I'll just sort that one out and get back to it. Right, just a quick update. I've literally kept the right hand rod with the same rig on. There is a barbless hook on it, so it's my stumbling fault. I didn't realise it was barbless. I thought I had a micro barb. Never mind. It is what it is. Yeah, so I chucked back out, just put a handful of bait around it again, same as I did the bucket I showed you earlier. And it's now coming up to 12:15, so it's going to have a nice bacon sandwich and a cup of coffee at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but you kind of get the meaning. So I'll do that, and hopefully, with a bit of luck, we'll get another one. Because the weather isn't supposed to rain today, but there's a few clouds coming over, so we'll see what happens. Right, I'll get on doing that, and I'll get back to you a little bit later. Just a quick update. It's now 3:30. Nothing has happened for me whatsoever. My brother was down here not long after I got here, in fact same time I think, and all around about the time, I think I was here just before him, went in my car and he turned up, so he's fishing for the little ones. He had a carp rod out and he just landed himself a lovely common, probably around about 12 to 13 might have even pushed the 14 mark. Absolutely mint condition. And so he's now gone home, so he's one happy chappy. Me on the other hand, since that fish this morning and the one I lost earlier on, nothing. It's been an absolute, it's gone quiet. There's a chap over the back there. He's just had one. And yeah, so that's all I can really say at the minute. So I'll just finish off my cup of coffee. Like I say, it's 3:30. That's really all I can say at the minute. It seems fairly quiet. The temperature has risen a little bit. It's quite warm, and fish are up on the surface. So, but we'll see. I'll give it another 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 o'clock, something like that. And see what we can go from that. Yeah. So that's it. So I'll speak to you a bit in a little while. I don't know if you can see me rods or not, but you keep an eye out there. Right, second fish of the day. Spoke tea time. Easy target. Have a little comment. It's one of the small ones. You know, the little ones, you would say. There we go. Probably about £8, I suppose, something like that. Not particularly very big, but it's not bad gone. Like I say, second fish of the day, so it's 3 runs and 2 landed. How about that then? Right, I took the photo shots, let's get him back straight away. Well, how about that? Just I was about to give up and think to myself, well, I'll pack up and go home now, because nothing really going to happen much. That decided to kick off. I will just show you the rig I'm using, because it's slightly different to the standard rigs that I would normally use in a pop-up line. This is, I've kind of mixed it between a Ronnie rig and a hinge rig. I will just show you. Just get the L hook on first and we'll basically go from that. So yeah, that was on the Pacific tuna. Again, not a very big fish, but there's 2 fish on the bank. And yeah, happy days, eh? So we'll just quickly whack this on here like so. I mean, it's nothing specific, nothing fancy, but it's just a slight tweak that I've done, and it seems to be working pretty well. Just quickly spin it off and blow it on. Right, basically all it is, it's just this is a bit of fluorocarbon. Oh, the old beads come off. That's the old ESP white bead thing, call it. Top tungsten bead. That's the heavy duty one, and the difference is just on a little swivel, like so. Basically a Ronnie rig. Instead of having it slightly curved over, I've actually got it, I can't see it very well, going up straight. Kind of like a hinge rig, but in a smaller version. And it seems to be working the trick. It is hooking the bottom lip every time, so that's all good. So that's basically the rig. It's nothing complicated about it, it's just a slight modification. Like I say, when it sits on the bed, it'll sit up straight, as opposed to being either hooked, you know, like a Ronnie rig is, or 360 spinner rig, what you want to call it. Just a slight modification that I've done, and it seems to be working top banana. So I'll get that back out there, and hopefully we'll get another one. Right, well, the left hand rod was, again, it's the second time on the Pacific tuna. She's come out just onto the little left hand side. I've done there's a little clip up for you, so I can just drink my cup of coffee and you can watch it at the same time. But it's just near them trees, just sort of to the right, not right in the corner. The middle rod, or the right hand rod, is just in front of that weed bed over, yeah, it's just literally in front of that weed bed. Again, that's on the munch baits biomarine. That's my fault, I picked the wrong the tub up, so I thought it was a pop-ups. Actually the hooked bottom baits. So I've picked the wrong one up, so stupid me. But that again, that's over that mix I had earlier on, which you got the munch baits in it, the biomarine 18s. I think there's some 14s in it as well. They're chopped, bit of crust in it, holes, and there's some Pacific tuna mixed in it as well, along with Nash baits, squid and krill. Just the food bits and pieces that I had left over, and I just chucked them all in the bucket and I just mixed them all up. It's the first time I caught on the Pacific tuna, so I've now had 2 fish on that, so I'm quite happy with that. All of the baits have been soaked in a the Bi-Marine has had the bunch baits bloodworm mixed into it and soaked into the boiler quite nicely, and I put some pellet in it as well. I think it's a little bits of bloodworm pellets, maybe about what 2-3 mil or something like that, just to blend it in as well. I've crushed up some boilie, tossed into a crummet, and I've mixed all, and I literally have just mixed it all up all together. The Pacific tuna has the Pacific tuna compound. I took some krill, sticky baits krill, it's like a powder form, I forget what they call it. It's the first time I used it. It's on my other stuff, the krill boilers I got at home, and I just put a little bit on the Pacific tuna just to add a bit more of that sort of aroma, the flavour and the traction. And they're all in that little bucket, so they're all mixed together. So that's quite a bit of a, can I put, bit of a mixture. But I'll put a good handful of the middle one after the lost fish I had earlier on. I'm assuming that he's come in, scoffed the rest of it and took my hook bait off, so I missed it. The left one I put the same amount as I did when I first started off, which is about a handful. I've put a little bit more of it now, simply because it is what I consider to be coming up to bite time. We're going into the evening, it's now 20 to 6, and the sun is up there, just sort of trying to get through the trees, and it's actually putting the heat into the water of this side. So I was contemplating going home. I've now decided to change my mind. I might stay a little bit longer. Like I said, I've just put an extra little bit over the left hand rod, because that seems to be the most active. I know they patrol in and out that corner, so hopefully with a bit of luck we'll get something. Well, hopefully we'll get another one. Hopefully a little bit bigger. Now, it seems to be small ones at the minute, but fish is a fish, and I'm catching, so yeah, I'm okay with that. So I shall continue finishing my cup of coffee, and leave my phone alone, because I'm getting low on battery. If I do get another one, I need to take a photograph, obviously. So I'll continue with doing that, and yeah, better luck. I'll get back to you shortly. Right, my session's now come to an end. It is now up to 6:30 by the time I get my rest of my gear put away. I've come sort of light, just the rods are left out. Pretty much everything's packed away. I shall bring in the non-active rod, which is the right hand one, and we'll go from that. However, I've had 2 fish out, I lost one. Been quite an enjoyable day, to be honest with you, considering I wasn't really in the mood to come down, but I did anyway. Glad I did now. And yeah, so I'll pack my stuff away, and I don't know where I'm going to be next, or when. It's a possibility next weekend at the syndicate. If failing that, depending on how things go, I'll probably come back here for a day session, or I might even venture on to somewhere else. But we'll see how it pans out. So I don't know where I'm going to be, or even when. So therefore, on that note, I'll catch you later, and hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you soon.